Anne is my name. I'm 35 years old. My husband is 52 years old, and his name is Michael. We've been married for 16 years. We've got 2 girls. Our oldest girl is 14 years old, and our youngest is only 2. Our lives were easy. Every day, Michael went to work, but I stayed home. I took care of the kids, cooked and cleaned. I thought we were pleased. I thought Michael loved me. But then everything changed. I learned something terrible one day. Michael was seeing someone. I didn't believe it when I first heard it. I told myself, not my husband, not Michael. We've been together for a long time. I knew something was wrong, though, deep down. He got home late. He used his phone more. He smiled at tweets I couldn't see. I asked him straight out, "Michael, is it true? Are you seeing someone?" His eyes got red. His voice was rough. He said, "You're making a fuss for no reason." But his anger told me the truth. When he was asleep one night, I called him on the phone. My hands were shaking, but I needed answers, even though I was scared. He woke up and caught me. "Why do you want to look at my phone?" he yelled. "You're not allowed to." I went cold. It hurt like hell, but I couldn't stop. After that, I looked at his phone bill. I saw a number that he called every day. I called it. A woman spoke up. She was cool and calm. She said, "Yes, I know Michael. I am his girlfriend, yes." My throat shut up. I was having a hard time breathing. She told me she was my age, married, and had a daughter. She gave a small laugh and said, "It's okay if my husband finds out." I was feeling dizzy. The call was over. I talked to Michael again. I said in a whisper, "I know the truth." But he got even more angry. "It's over when I want it to be. You can't tell me what to do." My eyes were filled with tears. He held my hand on our wedding day and told me he would love me forever. It made me think of the good old days. Some nights we talked late into the night. The day our first daughter was born, he smiled at her little face. But that man was still there, cold and mean. It wasn't the first time. He cheated on us a long time ago, after our first daughter was born. I then forgive him. I believed it would never happen again. That was not the case with our second girl, though. I didn't go anywhere. I wasn't getting paid. I owned the apartment, but the loan was very high. Michael said it should be this way. I would still have to pay if he left. I felt like I was stuck. The small child benefit was going to end soon, and we needed Michael's money. He knew this. He used it to get strong. One night, he told me with a mean smile, "I can do anything I want, even date someone else if I want to." My chest hurt. I didn't know what to do. We also told our oldest daughter about it. She told him, "Dad, this is wrong," while standing in front of him. "Stop right now." But Michael yelled at her and said mean things that no father should say. She cried and ran to her room. Not just me, but also our kids were being hurt by him. He stopped coming home at night soon. "I have to work late," he said, but I knew what was true. I was wide awake in the dark and heard the clock tick. Every car that went by made me hope he was home, but the hours went by with nothing. He came back angry in the morning. He yelled angrily, "Stop asking me questions. This is getting old for me." He told me another day, "I want to go on a trip." "May we go together?" And I asked softly. He said, "No, I want to go by myself." I was really sad. I saw the money after that. Every month we had less. I looked at our bank account. He spent his money on hotels, meals, and gifts. Not for me, not for the kids, but for her. Bills made me worry. It made me worry about food. He didn't care. He was only interested in his girlfriend. I died of stress. I was unable to sleep. I wasn't able to eat. I was weak. The doctor told me to rest. How could I rest, though? My husband was making my family worse. Our oldest daughter stopped talking. She stopped laughing with her friends. It wasn't her fault that she carried shame around with her. People scared her. She cried at night. Even though our little girl was too young to understand, I knew what kind of life she would have when she grew up. I told my best friend everything. She told me, "You might want to leave him." But I felt stuck. I have 2 kids and I don't have a job. I was told to wait by my family. They said he might change.
I was afraid he would never do it, though. I loved him anyway. I still wanted him back after everything. I hoped he would think of our family. There was one night when I made dinner and waited. Hours went by. Michael finally got home. His face was alert. He didn't change his face when he saw me. He said, "Let's talk." My hands were shaking. "What is it?" I asked. "I'm no longer in love with you." The words cut like knives. Even though I hoped he would change, I could tell by the look on his face that it was over. "What should I do now?" My voice stopped. "I'm going." I was frozen on the couch while he packed his bags. I couldn't stop the tears from falling, but they did. He took his books, clothes, and watch. Our girls held on to him. They cried, "Dad, don't go." He told them he was sorry, hugged them, and kissed them on the face. After that, he turned away. The door shut behind him. I could hear his car leave. The house was very quiet. I cried so hard that my whole body hurt. His side of the bed was empty in the morning. I put on a happy face for my kids, but I was really upset. I would sometimes pick up the phone to call him, but I would not. I knew where he was. I walked by a cafe one afternoon. I saw him, Michael, through the window. He was sitting next to her. She looked lovely. He looked better than he had in years when he was with me. My knees were weak. I turned around and left. Tears made it hard for me to see. I shut the door at home. I broke down in tears and sat on the floor. He was really and truly gone. I looked at my girls while they slept that night. I put my hand on their hair and told them, "I will be strong for you." I took off my wedding ring in the morning. I made breakfast. By the window, I drank coffee. It hurt a lot still. I knew one thing, it would last a long time. I was still here after Michael left, and I would live for my children.